first started trying to make a living as an artist, I thought the hardest part of all this, like running an art business, was going to be making good artwork, learning how to paint better, and making paintings that people wanted to buy. Also, maybe even figuring out how to sell them, how to talk to customers, run an art fair booth, sell my work online. But actually, none of that is the hardest part about making a living as an artist. After doing this full-time for over a decade, I realized the hardest part is actually figuring out where to spend your time. And what I mean by this is what direction to steer your art business in. There are only so many hours in the day that I can work. And so I have to choose what I do with my time really wisely. And if I get this wrong, if I choose the wrong things to do with my time, I could lose weeks or months on projects that just don't pan out. A prime example of me wasting my time on a thing happened a couple of months ago. Okay, so I've made these paintings of my cat. I make one every year for my birthday as a gift to myself. So I have a lot of paintings. He's 14 years old now. I've painted him so many times. I've actually painted him more than I have once a year. So this means I've painted him maybe 15 or 20 times. I mean, I've made a lot of paintings of this cat. He's my best friend, and I have such an emotional connection to these paintings. And I thought, if I would share that connection and just some updates about my cat, because he's in a lot of my videos and I post him in a lot of my social media content, so my followers know Mr. Samadhi, and whenever he's in a video, I always get lots of engagement and people commenting at how cute he is, and they're asking how he's doing and things. And so I thought this would be a perfect collection for me to launch and share some of the health struggles he's been having lately, and of course share my passion for all of the paintings that I've made of him, and hopefully relate that to other people having pets that they love in their life, and hoping that this emotional connection will get them to want to purchase some of my work. Because one thing I do know is if you share stories and get a person to connect with your work emotionally, that typically gets them one step closer at least to buying. But in this case, I spent about 10 total hours of my time putting together all the promotional items to launch this collection. I mean, the paintings were already made, so I didn't need to do that. And the prints were already for sale. And these are prints that I often sell a lot at art fairs and even online, but I had never packaged them before into a collection of only these prints and promoted them this way. So I made a few Instagram reels and I sent out a newsletter that was very heartfelt and told the story of me and Samadhi and all of these paintings. And out of that 10 hours of work, I made 0 sales. Now, one thing that I did learn is that people really responded well to this email newsletter. I have never sent out an email newsletter that got this many replies. People replied with stories of their animals and how they wish Samadhi all the best, and even some solutions that I may have to improve his health issues, which I totally loved receiving and reading and responding to. But responding to all of the newsletters also created extra work and time from me, and I got no sales out of any of this. This was definitely one of those situations where I couldn't predict what was going to happen. I had to just take the gamble with putting my time into these marketing efforts and hoping that they paid off. And yeah, in this case, they did not pay off. And so you never know as an artist. And honestly, this is why I think it's the most difficult part of being an artist, because you are gambling with your time. You're trying to make educated guesses on what people will want and what they will buy, but you're having to spend your time making the art and marketing it and figuring out a way to promote yourself online or in person. Sometimes it's just time that you're wasting. Sometimes it's money. If you're paying for an art fair booth, for example, and then you go there and you lose money or you don't make enough sales to pay for your booth fees and such. And so you have to kind of think about all of these things, but it's a lot of pressure on an artist to try to kind of have a little bit of a crystal ball and look into the future and try to make those right steps now that are going to guarantee or almost guarantee results in the future. You can never guarantee anything in business, but if you know enough about what you're doing and you base things on past results or your actions on what's worked for others, sometimes you can make predictably more reliable results, but that isn't always the case. Despite all of this, sometimes you will have things that just pop up out of nowhere that you spend very little effort on that all of a sudden lead to huge results. When this happens, it's amazing. Last month, I had a viral video here on YouTube. If you've been watching my channel, you probably saw it. It's the one where I said no to some somebody who asked me to mentor as a free mentorship situation at an art fair. And this video just blew up. It got over 500,000 views. And whenever I made it, I wasn't thinking anybody would probably even care to watch it. I was just kind of sharing something that I was going through and how I was grappling with maybe a little bit of feeling guilty and a little bit of not knowing how to handle this situation the best and wishing I had handled the situation differently. But I just shared this and I thought I would get some good comments and engagement, but I didn't really think anybody would buy my art after seeing the video. But since the video got viewed by so many people, I sold so much art. It was something that came out of nowhere, and I didn't realize I could even monetize my channel that way by selling that much work to people who were watching an art business related video. Like, I never thought that would happen. And so it helped me reframe the potential of what I can do by selling art through my YouTube channel. And it felt so amazing to be able to sell a whole bunch of original paintings and know that people really appreciate and love my work. In this video, I maybe spent about 2 total hours of time in from the time I recorded it, edited it, launched it up on YouTube. I didn't dedicate any time thinking about how I would make the video or strategically planning how I would sell art because of the video. I did none of that. I really just uploaded the video and let it do whatever it was going to do. And it just accidentally sold me a whole bunch of artwork, which is so awesome. But usually this does not happen as an artist. Usually you have to really think and plan and really toil over your marketing plans to get those things to succeed. Either that or you have to work really hard at an art fair, which is a lot of physical labor, and you have to know how to talk to customers and be able to be energetic and willing to try to sell the entire time you're there to be able to make a good amount of money. Either way, you have to work at it. But this viral video showed me that sometimes things can just pop up out of nowhere and help you earn a lot of money as an artist. So I'm super thankful when things like that happen, but it doesn't change the fact that the most difficult part of running a business like mine is trying to figure out which direction to steer my time and my efforts, because one decision that I can make now can completely change the trajectory of my whole business for the next few years. If I decide to make a collection of work that I spend 3 months working on, but then the customers aren't interested in it and they don't want to buy it, this could hold back my business for that year and maybe even the next year. So it's something that I have to deeply consider. And I feel like trying to make these types of decisions are the most stressful part of being a full-time artist. And then you might be wondering, well, should you just try a lot more things? And that's what I used to do when I first started out. So I tried to do everything. And I realized quickly that I could not handle doing that, even if I tried to outsource as much of the work as possible. But it still didn't stop the bottleneck of me being the one that initially creates the paintings and me being the one that needs to market the paintings or prints or whatever it is that I'm selling product-wise with my art on it to the people who are going to purchase. And this takes a whole lot of work. And so inevitably, you must choose between some of the things that you're going to do in your business. You cannot do everything. If I were 10 people, I could say yes to every single opportunity that comes into my life with regard to selling my work, but I can't do that. And so I have to make my best guess. And in reality, nothing is a for sure thing. Even if you think it will be, it's always your best guess of whether it will succeed or not. Along these same lines, you might find it helpful to watch my next video about how to make money as an artist without feast or famine. You can check it out here. It's basically helping create a very stable amount of income that you can count on each month. All right, well, I hope this video helped. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.